Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 2. So Module 2 is really getting us into the creative writing process. We're starting out with some basic stuff that maybe some review if you've taken Comp 1, if you've done a creative writing class before, but we're really just trying to get into what are some good habits to have as we get into the semester, as we start looking at some of the more complicated assignments in the class, which start in the next module. What are some things that you can just keep in mind as we go through it? So a couple of assignments here, they're fairly simple. They shouldn't take you very long, but they are to set up the class for us. So couple of things to remember. You want to make sure that you're doing the readings for the class. We will have some quizzes later on, but right now we're really just thinking about like what are some ways that we can approach creative writing, what are some considerations for creative writing, that kind of thing, especially as it differs from writing in say a Composition 1 or other type of academic class. So the main two sections you're reading are a section on writer's block and a section on writer's journals. And so once you've read the section on writer's block, you're going to answer some questions about your own writer's block and what are types of things that block you as a writer. And this is a really good way to just do some reflection on what helps you and hurts you as a writer. I know for me, I tend to procrastinate a lot. And so what blocks me a lot is just waiting too long. And so then when I get down to actually write, I feel just way too much stress. I don't have enough time to really think through some of the things that I should be thinking through as I'm writing. So, and what types of things, talk to other people about their writing experiences. What are some of their issues that they've come across, that kind of thing. So when I'm looking for kind of a paragraph format here rather than an answer to each question kind of thing, I want you to really, it's more of a personal response, just getting out some ideas. This is the type of assignment, you'll see quite a few this semester that are like this, where I am looking for personal response. I just want your ideas. I'm not grading this on grammar. I'm not grading it on whether or not you can format a, correctly punctuated sentence or whatever. I'm not looking for correct comma placement. I'm looking for content. And so you have one full page, double spaced, written. That's what I'm looking for. And so I put this, these types of assignments are typically at AI level use 1, which means that if you have Grammarly installed on your computer and you're using it to help you in case you, misspell a word or a comma, misplaced comma or something, that's fine. But I don't want you to have Grammarly go through and like rewrite your sentences or suggest different words or whatever. We don't want to take away from your own authentic voice and tone when you write. And so that's something to just keep in mind. If you do use programs like that, the basic, proofreading type editing changes, those are fine. But anything beyond that, where it's rearranging your sentences, it's suggesting different words, we don't want that. We want your authentic voice, how you would write it, your ideas. And so when I read something like this, I'm not looking for perfection. In fact, I would rather see errors in your writing at this point, because that means you wrote it. And so I really want to hear what you think. Unless it's completely illegible, you're going to get full credit for it as long as you're answering the questions. So just keep that in mind. And the next thing that you're going to do is look over some ideas for writing a journal. So one of the best habits you can get into as a writer is just starting a good writing journal. And there is a whole section in here. This is this other textbook experiences. Not explanations, forget the name of the book. The experiences, not explanations. And it goes through in the writing practice, it goes through how to do a writing journal. And so thinking about like, what are some good ways to put together a writing journal? These are all just ideas that you come across. And a writing journal is more than just a diary type thing. It's like, you can keep a writing journal that's about your daily life, but focusing on things that like really inspire you. So, maybe you went somewhere and you saw something or you heard a conversation, that's what you want to write down. So it's not just the experiences that you had, it's what is out there that inspires you to think about what you could write. And so this is your place to write poorly. It's a place to just get ideas out. It's a place where you can just, vomit your stuff out onto the page kind of thing. So what you're going to do this semester is keep a writing journal. You are not going to turn this in for credit, but you are going to reflect on it more than once in the semester. So you want to have a spot to keep your journal. I don't care if that's an app. I don't care if that's a notebook, whatever you want to keep your journals. You're going to keep a journal somewhere, and maybe just a Word document that you have on your computer. I've got all kinds of prompts for you. I encourage you to do your writing journal every week, every day if you can, and just come up with different prompts that help you write. You can use your journal to help with ideas for stories, or you can use it for something else. It doesn't matter. Some of you I know are probably working on your own story or novel or something like that. And since we're not writing novel length works in this class, this can be a good place to keep those ideas. So what you're going to do for your journal starter is just show me the start of your journal. A lot of times students will take a picture of their journal. So I've got, like, this semester we're going to see if this works. I'm trying to use this book. It's called The Storyteller's Weekly Journal. And it's a planner to create a story, basically. I've never used something like this before, so we'll see if I actually stick to it. But you could just have a regular notebook if you want. You could have something fancy like this. You might have my husband bought me a whole bunch of pens for Christmas, and so they're all different colors because I love color coding things. So there's lots of ideas for you here. You could submit a screenshot of something that you're working on. You could screenshot your calendar where you're planning out the days that you want to journal. I really don't care. I just want you to show me that you've started a journal. So however you want to do that, I've had all kinds of photographs submitted for this assignment, everything from somebody's desk to the actual notebook to their first entry. It doesn't matter. You can submit whatever you want here. If you have questions about it, or if you're confused, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just looking for the start to your journal here, and we'll see how it goes. And just throughout the semester, try to keep writing in it, and that's the goal. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.